I was just pointing out that if you reject God, you don't have any grounding for existence, any grounding for knowledge, any grounding for truth. And I was asking him, what is your grounding for knowing anything? And he was going through a lot of hurdles to just tell me what his ultimate grounding is. Then he
It's
said it's
reality.
then he said it's science. Okay, so it's science. So I asked him, have you personally investigated and
No,
experimented
that
all of these
that's
scientific evidences
that's
that
a
you're
not
saying?
that's a non-answer. When they say reality and science, it means they have no answer.
Right, right. And I pointed that out, and he kept deflecting and dodging the question. But they
It's
have no
not a
grounding.
substantive answer. It is a deceitful response trying to pretend that it's substantive when it's entirely vacuous.
And I asked him, have scientists been wrong in the past? He said yes. Then I asked him, how do you know they're correct now if they've been wrong
No,
in the
no, that
past?
science. Wait a minute. Science is an attempt to acquire knowledge about how things work. Okay, knowledge does not ontologically impose what is and what cannot be. It doesn't actualize that things work in a certain way. Okay, unless he's God. Okay, knowledge doesn't actualize how things operate. Okay.
Right.
Knowledge is simply a mental state to know how things work and don't work. Okay?
But it doesn't
Knowledge is
actualize anything.
power.
It doesn't actualize anything.
Yeah, so when they say reality, science, my sense perception, these are all monumental, embarrassing answers from these people who don't, they're like little children with their hand caught in the cookie jar and they don't want to admit, yeah, you got me.
That's right. That's right. I mean, Mike was
Okay?
saying earlier that he doesn't have any evidence for God, and then I asked him, "Does you not having any evidence for God
Did
logically
he?
follow that God doesn't exist?" And he
Yeah. Did he
said,
defend
"No."
the statement? Okay. Okay. Good. Hey,
I
Mike,
believe in
can
a
you
higher
defend
power.
the
I just
statement?
don't
There's no
believe that.
evidence. Hey, Mike, can you defend the statement? There's no evidence for God.
No, because I'm not making that claim. It's just the,
No, no,
the verses
you
in the
just did
Bible.
make a claim. You said there's no evidence for God. Good. Defend
There's
the
no
claim.
evidence for Yahweh, but
Okay.
I believe in
Okay. Hey,
a
Mike.
higher
Hey,
power.
Mike. Don't continue to embarrass yourself further. You're running
Well,
away
I'm not
from your
all
claim.
defensive.
Hey, Mike.
You
Hey,
feel
Mike. Hey,
defensive.
Mike. Mikey. Hey, Mikey. If I said to you there is evidence for God, would you insist that I defend that?
You're welcome to say it, but I'd still need proof before I can join you.
Okay. Hey, Mikey. Today we've had about 3 or 4 people from the United Kingdom, and every one of them sound like they're recovering from the flu. Okay, please don't make me conclude that about you, Mikey. Answer the question.
Your
Okay,
microphone.
goodbye, Mikey. Goodbye. Okay, I guess the flu
I
is
won
going.
then, did I?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Okay, you see what pathological liars these people are, and people wonder why I get so pissed with these liars.
Yeah, because he said he doesn't see any evidence for God. I'm like, does that logically follow that God doesn't exist? And
Don't
he
you
said no.
understand? These adults are worse than lying children. Because at least lying children are stupid enough to think that they can get away with it. Okay? I asked him, if I said to you there is evidence for God, wouldn't you want me to defend that? And he doesn't want to say yes because he knows what's going to come after that. Because, well, if you make the same statement in the negative, you're going to be obligated to explain that as well. So what does he do? He dodges and he diverts. And then he goes to verbal disruption, the 3D strategy. These people are despicable. And they want us to take them seriously? That they're on the path of intelligence and reason and truth? Give me a break.
Hey, Darth, remind me of what the 3D strategy is again. I forgot what it was.
Diversion, deflection, you can say it either way. Deflection, diversion, and verbal disruption.
Okay.
Okay, that's the 3D strategy. Diversion, deflection, and then finally, when you hold their feet to the fire, that they're diverting and they're dodging, then they go to verbal disruption. The 3D strategy.
I got the first two D's with with the guy I was talking to named Premium. Every time I asked him a question, he deflected or diverted the
Yeah.
question. Every single time.
Because they're not honest.
What is your epistemological grounding for anything? How do you know anything? He's like science. And I'm like, science doesn't say anything. Scientists say things. How do you know you can trust the scientists?
You have to dumb it down for some of these people. Okay? In a world without God, where the mind of God, his plan are dictate the connectedness between anything, how is anything connected or correlated to anything else? What are you going to say, physics? That's just begging the question. Look, this is the problem. What we are seeing is a crystal clear exemplification of suppressing the truth and unrighteousness. This is why these people resort to all of these deceptive and diversionary tactics. Because when you ask the right sort of clear questions that expose the bankruptcy of their position, they refuse to be transparent and admit that they're bluffing. They've got nothing.
And right? as well, physics only tells you what natural laws do. That doesn't tell you how they came into existence or what connects everything.
Physics is just simply a glorified way of saying that certain things are regular. Okay, what actualizes the regularity?
Right.
Okay, what is it that secures the regularity?
You can't say physics. You can't say physics.
Yeah. No, you can't. No, they don't have an answer to these questions. Look, they're fakes, they're phonies, and they're frauds. Okay? I call it the 3 F's, tongue-in-cheek. Fakes, phonies, and frauds.
Because as you rightly said, if they deny or reject that God is the ultimate first causal principle, then they are in principle living as though something else is the ultimate first causal principle. So what is it? What is the something else? What is it? What is it? Is the question?
Else, but they don't.
What is? Damn, the live ended. Gonna have to jump on another one.